is a publicity stunt. Nessa Barrett seemingly responded to these allegations by posting on her Instagram story, quote, "LOL, y'all believe anything," end quote. Guilty, Nessa. Yes, we do believe anything until proven otherwise, and we're still waiting to see if we can prove otherwise. While Nessa didn't directly say what she was referring to with this Instagram story post, fans are pretty much convinced based on the timing it is about Madd's interview, where Mads spilled the tea, or in Madd's words, so there's more drama. Nessa Barrett just posted a close-up selfie of her looking off camera with the text, "LOL, ya all believe anything." While she didn't give any context as to what anything was referring to, fans are convinced she's referring to Mads Lewis' recent appearance on Dixie D'Amelio's Early Late Show, where Mads claimed that Nessa's relationship with her ex, Jaden Hossler, is a publicity stunt, and even accused Nessa and Jaden of, quote, calling the paparazzi and telling them they were at the Nice Guy for their first official public date. Since neither Nessa or Jaden had posted that they were at the restaurant, as social media stars usually give a little location tag, which tips off the paparazzi to be there. So Mads asked, quote, "How did the paparazzi know where you were?" Well, I will say, to answer Mads' question, the Nice Guy is a celebrity hotspot. Justin Bieber, the Kardashians are there all the time. It is possible that the paparazzi was camped out, but it's also possible that someone called the paparazzi, because it did seem every single paparazzi was there. Also remember, Nessa recently said that her team was taking over her social media accounts for her mental health, which we totally respect. So now, does that mean that it was actually her team who posted that response? It's also important to note that after Nessa seemingly commented on allegations of her relationship with Jaden being fake, that she also took the time and the platform to promote the podcast Prom in Hell, which she stars in with Jaden Hossler. Interesting. Mads was also claiming in her interview with Nessa, Mads was also claiming in her interview that Nessa and Jaden are dating as a publicity stunt because they were promoting their song La Di Die the same time they went public with their controversial relationship. Although I will say, Nessa and Jaden are so cute. They look so goals. And of course, there's two sides to this, any story, or actually three sides to any story. One person's side, the other person's side, and the truth. We're trying to figure out exactly what the truth is. We have Mad's side, we have a full Mad side. Nessa just kind of gave us that Instagram story post. Perhaps there will be more. Nessa also promised fans that her music that's coming out will reveal more of her side of the story, so definitely we will be staying tuned to that. Nessa was recently spotted supporting Jaden for his first ever performance in Las Vegas. She showed her support and love for Jaden on her Instagram story as she joined him on the road recently, perhaps alluding that she will be also joining Jaden on his upcoming tour with Machine Gun Kelly, aka the guy with the black tongue. Nessa recently posted a cute black and white video on her Instagram story of her kissing Jaden on the cheek. As he says to the camera, "That was so crazy," as she giggles, likely referring to the rush of his performance that he just played. Nessa also posted a black and white shot of Jaden on stage performing with the text, "You were born a rock star, Jaden Hossler, so proud of you." And then another shot of Jaden smiling with the text, "He's ready, Vegas." Also, Jaden did do a main feed post. I will say, not to be a total, detective with this whole thing, I'm noticing that Nessa is giving a lot of love to Jaden on her Instagram. Jaden, not so much. When it comes to his main feed post, there's no really main feed post of him and Nessa aside from posts when they're professionally working together. I'm not gonna look too into it. I'm just giving you that information. Do with that information what you will. How are you guys doing? Oh, I love that. So Ria is saying that Mads is a goddess. I agree. We love Mads Lewis so much here at Hollywire, but we also love Nessa and we love Jaden. We love all of these people. We're just trying to keep you up to date of the latest thing that is happening between all of them. Be nice. Yes, Shiloh, thank you for saying that. Shiloh Robertson, please be nice. Whether you like Mads or you don't like Mads, or you like Nessa or you don't like Nessa, that's not what's important. So this situation here and what is unfolding, there's a couple of things that can be happening. Mads, I keep on saying Mads and Nessa flipped. Mads' interview with Dixie D'Amelio, there was a lot of tea that was spilled. There was a lot of allegations she made about Jaden Hossler, kind of saying that he cheated on her throughout the whole relationship, which is another thing that I was thinking of. When Mads is saying that Jaden cheated on Mads throughout their entire relationship when they were boyfriend and girlfriend, so during that time that they were posting all their cute coupley pictures together, when they had their matching tattoos, all of that stuff, do you think that Mads is saying that Jaden cheated on her with Nessa during that time, or was there maybe another girl in the picture? And when she's saying that Jaden cheated on her throughout their whole relationship, does she mean physical cheating, or emotional cheating, which both are terrible and horrible. I'm thinking she's thinking emotional cheating because we know that Jaden and Nessa were spending a lot of time together while Mads was dating Jaden. Of course, it was for their music and for their song and all the other projects that they have together. I mean, the fact that this podcast just came out, Prom in Hell, that also makes me think that Jaden and Nessa had actually been working on this podcast also during the time that they were rumored to be dating while Mads was still with Jaden, because you don't just like turn out a podcast in a day. It could take months and months of production. So I'm curious about what Mads meant by that. So it's kind of interesting about what is going on here. Yes, Southside Queen supports Jaden and Mads. Good. I'm so happy you guys are subscribed. Yes, please make sure you are subscribed here at Hollywire and you have those notifications turned on so you never ever miss a live update. We also do trivia here, which is so fun. We'll do that in just a little bit. So make sure you definitely stay tuned. And yes, I agree with Nessa Plays. Yo, chill. Don't hate on Mads. Anybody. Totally agree. We should be sending nothing but love to all these people we're talking about. And again, we are not prying. We're not snooping. This is public information. This is what they are posting and putting out into the world. And we are merely commenting on it, which is our job as hosts and reporters. So yeah, it's pretty crazy that all this stuff is happening. Thank you so much, Layla. You are so pretty too. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, this is so nuts that all this stuff is happening and developing. Mads had also kind of alluded to that her relationship with Jaden was abusive, which again, is that emotionally abusive or physically abusive? I'm gonna say it probably was emotionally abusive because if someone is emotionally cheating on you with another partner, that also has to be a little bit emotionally abusive too. Mads also said that Jaden is a narcissist, which is a very, very big claim to make about someone. If you think you're dating a narcissist, there actually is a test you can take online. If you Google, I am a narcissist, and you could see if you or someone you're dating is a narcissist. I think that's a very handy test that we should be taking on a daily basis. Mads isn't lying. I agree. I don't think Mads is lying, because I don't think Mads or Nessa are lying because I think they are both speaking their truth. So I think to Nessa, she doesn't believe Mads because that's not her truth, and Mads has her side of the story and what she thinks. I mean, that interview that she did with Dixie D'Amelio, that was her first public appearance, her first time speaking about the situation since she was living the situation a month ago when she was on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which she now has her iconic Perfect merch from. So, I mean, things have changed. I think it's kind of interesting that Mads has kind of had a month at least to digest what is going on, to kind of react from less of an emotional standpoint and more of a logical one. And it seems even with that time off, Mads is still hurt. Mads also said in her interview with Dixie that she really was waiting for an apology from Jaden. She tried to get closure with him, but he wasn't giving her that. But also we know that Jaden, has been focusing on his music and all that other stuff. And so yeah, Ria's, yes, Mads is just telling the truth. I totally agree with that. We have Shiloh is saying, I am on both because I don't hate or dislike anyone because they all have their own sides. I'm also seeing that no one deserves to be hate. It says Aisha, thank you so much. So true. Andrea thinks Jaden is going to hurt Nessa the same way he hurt Mads. I hope not. They seem really cute and happy together. But, there is also something to be said about going from one relationship into the next without taking time to pause and work on yourself. There were clearly things that didn't work out in Mads and Jaden's relationship that were Mads' fault and also Jaden's fault because it takes two people to be in a relationship and break up. So I do hope that Jaden is working on himself because I think that is important. So yes. Nessa broke girl code and Jaden broke a relationship code. Also, Jaden broke bro code with Josh Richards. According to Mads, apparently Josh was ready to marry Nessa. I don't know if that means now or down the line, but Josh was so in love with Nessa around the time that Jaden and Nessa had started getting really close, which I could see being very heartbreaking and definitely a big break to girl code. Yes, Bang Pink thinks that Nessa is lying and that she broke girl code. I think a lot of codes were broken during this. And again, it's so subjective. It's really whatever you think. Josh is so sweet. Yes, I totally agree. Josh is so sweet. Hi, Camilla. Hello to you. Thank you so much for watching Hollywire. Oh, thank you, Maria, for liking my red dress. I like it too. I was wondering if I should keep it or return it, but Maria, you have now convinced me to keep it, so I will keep the red dress. Thank you. And you're right, Daisy. They are just different points of view on the situation. Nicole is saying, Nessa, come clean. I think, again, stay tuned to this, guys. I really feel like Nessa is teasing us with this new music that she's going to release. I think we might have our very own driver's license moment coming from Nessa when she releases her side of the story and releases her truth and sings about her truth, which I'm so interested to hear. We love you too, Camila. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, Kit Kat Puppy Love. Hello, Gabby with an IE. Hi, Jocelyn. Hello to you. Yes, Roxy, so many loose ends. There's a lot of loose ends to this story. Okay, guys, so if you are just tuning in, let me give you a lowdown about what we are talking about. So what has recently happened since we last reported on this situation is Nessa is claiming that Mads Lewis lied during her Dixie D'Amelio interview. Mads Lewis recently claimed that Nessa Barrett and Jaden Hossler's relationship is a publicity stunt. That is a very, very big claim to make. Nessa Barrett seemingly responded to allegations by posting on her Instagram story, quote, LOL, you all believe anything. And yes, Nessa, I'm guilty. We do believe anything until proven otherwise. That is kind of the name of the game. While Nessa didn't directly say what she was referring to with this Instagram story post, fans are convinced it is about the Mads interview. Nessa Barrett just posted a close-up selfie of her looking at the camera with the text, quote, you all believe anything, LOL, you all believe anything. While she didn't give us any context into exactly what anything is, fans are pretty quick to assume that she was referring to Mads Lewis' recent appearance on Dixie D'Amelio's Early Late Show, where Mads claimed that Nessa's relationship with her ex, Jaden Hossler, is a publicity stunt. So, sorry, Mads claimed that Nessa's relationship with Jaden is a publicity stunt. And Mads even accused Nessa and Jaden of, quote, calling the paparazzi and telling them they were at the Nice Guy, which you now remember as their first official public outing and date together, since neither Nessa nor Jaden had posted that they were at the restaurant on social media, as influencers typically do. And Mads asked, how did the paparazzi know you were there? Of course, paparazzi hangs out at Nice Guy, but she does have a point. Typically why paparazzi gets the tip that these influencers are hanging out at Saddle Ranch or BOA or wherever they are for the evening is usually they see the video, there's a location tag. They don't even need a location tag because they know what these different venues. They are like 5 or 6 hot spots in Los Angeles that influencers always go to. Now, also remember that Nessa recently said that her team was taking over her social media accounts for her because of her mental health, which makes a lot of sense. So does that mean that her team posted Nessa's response to the situation, or did Nessa get her phone and post that? It's also important to note that after Nessa seemingly commented on allegations that her relationship with Jaden is fake, she also then took the time and the platform to promote her Prom in Hell podcast, which is a scripted podcast that she stars in with Jaden Hossler, which is kind of interesting. Mads was also claiming in her interview with Nessa, that Nessa and Jaden are dating as a publicity stunt because they were promoting their song La Di Die around the same time they went public with their now controversial relationship. But I mean, time has passed. It does seem like Nessa and Jaden are really, really happy together. They have been seemingly inseparable since they were first spotted together at the Nice Guy in West Hollywood. Nessa was recently spotted supporting Jaden for his first ever performance in Las Vegas, and she showed her support for him on her Instagram story. She joined Jaden on the road recently, perhaps alluding to followers that she will also be joining Jaden on the road when he goes on tour with Machine Gun Kelly. Nessa recently posted a cute black and white video on her Instagram story of her kissing Jaden on the cheek as he says to the camera, that was so crazy, and Nessa giggles, kind of referring to how the show that Jaden just played was so crazy because it's a big show in Vegas. Also, Nessa posted a black and white shot of Jaden on stage performing with the text, you were born a rock star, Jaden Hossler, so proud of you, end quote, and then another shot of Jaden smiling with the text, he's ready Vegas. Jaden also posted a shot of him performing in Vegas on his Instagram story main feed, saying that he is played a new song that he's working on during the show. So I think we have a lot of new music to expect from Jaden. Also, again, Nessa had hinted that her side of the story will come out. So right now, the only part of her side of the story that we have is her saying that people will believe anything, which I'm pretty positive is referring to how fans are quick to assume that they believe Mads saying that Nessa and Jaden's relationship is a publicity stunt. And Nessa entered the chat saying, you will believe anything. That's not true. Jaden and I really love each other. I mean, if Jaden and Nessa are lying about their relationship, they also are phenomenal actors, because I really do see like such an intense love and connection between the two of them. Also, if their relationship is a publicity stunt, would they get not 1 but 2 matching tattoos together? That kind of seems to be a lot to do for a publicity stunt and fake relationship. So that's why I think that Mads had a lot of truth. And also, here's the other thing too. What Mads is saying on Dixie's show is what she believes to be true. So there's a good chance that Mads really believes that Nessa and Jaden's relationship is a publicity stunt. Perhaps Mads needs to believe that to move on with herself and to move on with the fact that Jaden is is no longer dating her and broke up with her for Nessa. So perhaps Mads needs to hear that, which I think is fine. But I do think that Nessa and Jaden are together. I don't think it's a fake relationship. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do you think this is a fake relationship, or do you think that Nessa and Jaden are real? Are they the real deal? Nessa and Jaden really hurt Mads, and Josh, they make each other happy, but Nessa went behind her then best friend Mads with her then boyfriend, says Dill Pickle, great username. Really true, but I will say that at the time that Nessa and Jaden started hanging out, Mads and Nessa's relationship, I'm pretty sure, was kind of like not great. I feel like they were more frenemies at the point, but yes, a lot of trust was broken, a lot of codes were broken during this, but it must have been worth it, because if Nessa and Jaden broke all those codes, it must be because they really, really, truly love each other, because why else would you sacrifice those kind of things if it is just a one and done fling? I do kind of feel like Nessa and Jaden are kind of these soulmates, or almost like Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox described their relationship as these twin flames. I see the same thing with them. SYR is saying Nessa is just using the situation to promo her music. Why can't she just say her side of LOL? Why should we wait for her album? That is a point. I'm not going to say it's a good point because I don't want to throw shade at Nessa, but SYR, that is a point. I really hope that Nessa releases new music. That's also a lot of pressure on Nessa. I feel like people are now ready to hear it, and I think haters of Nessa will be quick to hate the music and fans will be quick to support it. So I could understand why maybe Nessa is taking her time, but I mean, she killed it on La Di Da. Love Nessa, hate Nessa. That song, she is so talented. And she recently also did a concert that we also recently reported on, and she crushed it there too. Nessa is so talented. So even if you don't like her, you do have to admit she's very talented, and I do think her album will be really good and really strong, and hopefully tell us something, because we've been waiting long enough, haven't we? On the Call Her Daddy podcast, Matt said that Jaden said that he liked Nessa. Yes, that is what Prisha said. That is so true, because, I think the timeline of everything, if you kind of need a little catch up, when Mads went on the Call Her Daddy podcast, apparently that was when Mads was breaking up with Jaden, and that was when she found out that Jaden liked Nessa. And they had already been spending time together professionally making music, but he revealed that to her, and so that was why Mads was so incredibly hurt. This was before Jaden and Nessa were spotted and being a public, official couple. And I mean, that podcast is so heartbreaking to listen to. Mads, why do I keep flipping them? Mads is so heartbroken. She's crying. I mean, that has to be so tough to go through. I just hope that he treats her the opposite way he treated Mads, says Roxy M. I totally agree. Yes, thank you for loving my gold earrings, Maria. I appreciate that. I believe I got them. Where did I get them? I think I got them from Forever 21. You are so pretty, Prisha. Thank you so much for watching. Why would you break your trust with your best friend, says Jenna Wong? I don't know. I personally would never do that to a best friend. I think if you do that, you have to know that your friendship is totally over, because you can't really go back from that, which is why I think that Nessa and Jaden's feelings for each other had to be so intense and so strong and so undeniable that they were willing to hurt people to be together. That is the only explanation for that. Thank you, Roxy, for loving the earrings. You're a queen, girl. Weird that Jaden said Christian broke the bro code. Oh yes, Kelsey, great point. So Christian Pelori, who's now dating Mads, or hanging out or whatever, is Mads' best friend is what she calls him, but they are very flirty together and they're very cute together. Perhaps Mads is going to take a little time before she actually has that label, which I think makes total sense. Apparently, I guess Jaden said that Christian broke the bro code because Jaden and Christian were friends or friendly by dating Mads, but I mean, I don't think you can compare. I don't think Christian and Jaden were as close of friends as Josh Richards and Jaden were at one point. Let's not forget, because I think it is the anniversary of Bryce Hall and Josh Richards getting arrested in Texas. Bryce posted his mugshot today on Instagram to remind people of how far he's come, and obviously to promote his fight. And if you do remember, apparently, according to Jaden, he took the arrest for Josh, because Josh is not a citizen. Josh is Canadian, and so that was Jaden's response when Josh was so upset about the situation, and when he was hanging out with Nessa. Jaden did say, hey, look, I got arrested for you, which is crazy. You are so pretty, Dina. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Why is Jaden jealous of Christian and Mads if he is so in love with Nessa? Ooh, good point. SYR with the hot takes today. I don't know if he's jealous. I think he's just kind of being like, oh, you know, he also broke bro code. But Christian and Mads are so cute together. I really do ship them. And at the end of the day, I just want Mads to be happy. It has to suck so much to not only go through such a blindsidingly heartbreak like she has gone through, but also on such a public scale of so many people watching it and having opinions about it. That has to be so painful. Nicole is saying, all I have to say is that Josh is not involved in any of this problem of what is happening right now. He only knows of love. Yes, that's so true. Josh really doesn't wants to be removed from the narrative, even though he kind of is in the narrative. Josh has made that very clear that he doesn't want to talk about this anymore. And Josh has really hit the ground to the pavement, working on different business endeavors. We recently interviewed Griffin Johnson, which you definitely should go check out. And Griffin talked about, you know, working with Josh and what a hard worker Josh is and how the two of them started a sports agency company after watching the show Ballers, which was pretty baller of them to do such a thing. Okay, I think they are really dating, but they really didn't want to hurt Josh and Mads, says Prisha. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, they wouldn't hurt Josh and Mads, but I think they just didn't have a choice because, you know, even if coming out as a couple immediately or waiting a year to come out as a couple, I mean, people were going to find out. They clearly had a relationship going on, so that's pretty tough. Natasha is saying, I think that Mads is very hurt before the situation of feeling betrayed by Jaden and Nessa, and Josh maybe feels the same way. I'm pretty sure Josh probably also does feel hurt, but I feel like he's putting his broken heart into his art, which we love to see. He's working, he's hustling. We love to see that. Beanie is saying, weird how Jaden and Nessa were seen together after Mads said something. The timing of that is interesting, yeah, because it was like that we had first heard Mads, like her idea that Jaden and Nessa were dating, right? And then we didn't really hear a response. And then instead of getting a response, we just publicly see them together. That is interesting timing. Ashlyn Fortune, hello to you. Thank you so much for watching Hollywire. Belita Fernandez, hello to you. Thank you so much for watching Hollywire. Trying my best to say everyone's name here. You guys, there's so many of you. We love that. We love that you're all active in the chat. And so I'm trying my best. It's going very quickly here. You are so pretty, Pisha. Thank you so much for watching and for watching our show. I don't think Jaden was fair on Mads either, says Isha Ahmed. I mean, I hear you on that. When Mads found out they kissed, it must have really hurt. She deserves so much better. Jaden had probably bonded with Nessa and was stressed and went crazy, says Fernanda. I could, you know, that sounds right. I totally can hear that. Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. Mads removed her matching tattoo. So there's a lot of back and forth. Did Mads remove her matching tattoo with Jaden? As you guys know, Mads has a tattoo that I believe it either says left side or right side on her left or right side, and Jaden has the other side tattooed to him, and it's on their hand. And so right after all this happened, Mads had posted a picture of herself getting her tattoo removed, but people noticed that you could actually see her tattoo in another recent shot that she took where her hand is in frame. I will say this is what I know about tattoo removal. It's not a one and done thing. You have to go through several sessions, and the tattoo did look a little faded, so I think Mads is in the process of removing her tattoo. I don't think that she got it back on or she changed her mind. I think she definitely went to go get the first session. I believe tattoo removal takes at least 6 sessions over the course of a year, so it's going to be a while before she sees that tattoo removal, which again is why I hope that Nessa and Jaden stay together, because if they do break up, they have not 1 but 2 tattoos to remove, which is painful and takes a lot of time. So yes, getting a tattoo is a little painful. It doesn't take that long, but removing it is painful and it takes a while. So definitely really make sure before you get a tattoo. Remember, even with tattoo removals, tattoos are forever, pretty much. So be careful. Hi, Sabia. Hello to you. Thank you so much for watching Hollywire. Hello. Hi, everyone. Sending love to you, Tristan. Thank you so much for watching. Can Taylor Holder come into the studio again? We would love to have Taylor Holder come back into the studio. We had so much fun the last time we had Taylor in the studio. We were playing with puppies. It's such a great interview. Definitely go watch that. We love Taylor. He's amazing and awesome. We would love that. Jaden might feel bad about losing a friendship with Josh, but he is really in love with Nessa. I think so too. And what do they say? That your significant other becomes your best friend. So even though Josh and Jaden were best friends, I think hopefully Nessa and Jaden are becoming best friends. And so maybe to Jaden that is worth it. Delilah is wondering, do you think Mads was right about Nessa and Jaden calling the paparazzi? Delilah, honestly, I'm kind of split on this. I don't know. But you know what I do know? I do know that it is trivia time, and we are doing Maddie Monroe trivia. So if you know the answers to these questions, please let me know. First question is, how old is Maddie? Is she 20, 19, 18, or 17? I think she's 18. I'm not positive. I'm curious if you guys know. Hi, London. London, do you know the answer to this question? Do you guys know how old Maddie Monroe is? 19 or 17? I'm getting a little bit of each. Okay, 18, 17, 17, a lot of 17s. Okay, I'm gonna go with 17 because that was my gut feeling on this. Hopefully that's correct. It is 1 out of 1 correct. Next question, what day was Maddie born? I'm so happy it wasn't like, was she born on a Monday or Tuesday? No, we got the date, okay. Was she born on January 27th, January 18th, January 20th, or January 12th? Well, we know she was born in January, but which day in January was she born? Those all dates look all very similar to me, and I'm terrible at remembering birthdays besides my own. I'm getting a January 27th. You guys seem to think January 27th, so I am going to go with that because you haven't steered me wrong yet. And that is correct, 2 out of 2. We got some Maddie Monroe fans in the house. Thank you so much, guys. What sport did Maddie's dad play professionally? Was it soccer, football, basketball, or baseball? Maybe baseball? I feel like baseball, but I could be wrong. Do we know what sport her dad played professionally? Sabia, you look so pretty. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. And thank you, Belita, for saying my hair is pretty. That's very nice. I spent a lot of time getting ready. Looking good for you fine people here. Baseball. Oh, I was right. My gut was right. Baseball. Let's hope this is right. 3 out of 3. We are crushing it. We might even get an 8 out of 8. Okay. What is Maddie's zodiac sign? Is she a Libra, a Leo, an Aquarius, or a Cancer? I think if her birthday is late January, January 27th, I believe that makes her an Aquarius. Do you guys agree with that she's an Aquarius? I think yes, Aquarius. Woo, age of Aquarius. And that is correct. 4 out of 4. Wow, this is so far the best I've ever done on the first 4 questions on trivia. What is Maddie's most recent acting credit? Is it Attaway General? Is it Grey's Anatomy? Is it Law and Order? Or is it My Two Left Feet? I'm thinking it's Attaway General, but I might not be right about that. Love you too, Maggie Soria. What do you guys think? Do we know what is her first? Thanks. My earrings are from Forever 21. Thank you so much. Shout out to Nero. Attaway. You guys are all saying Attaway General. That is true. Let's see if that is true. That is true. Maddie Monroe was on Attaway General. We know Dixie D'Amelio and Griffin Johnson were also on that. And I also think Avani as well, right? Which content house was Maddie a part of? Was it not a content house? Was it Hype House? Was it Sway House? Or was it Clubhouse? I think it was not a content house. Do you guys know the answer to this? What house was she a part of? Mariah, you're so pretty. Thank you. I love you so much, you guys. Asma, not a content house. Okay, Notch. We think it's a Notch. Is it a Notch? It's a Notch. She was in Nacho. I always think of nachos whenever I see the abbreviation. Nachos, that sounds good. Okay, what state does Maddie currently live in? Georgia, California, New York, or Nevada? Last I checked, Maddie lives in Los Angeles, which is in the state of California. Do you guys agree with that? Is that correct? Does she live in California or does she live somewhere else? A lot of influencers are moving to Florida. Maybe she moved to Florida. Callie, you guys are agreeing that she is living in California. That is correct. Oh my God, are we gonna get our first 8 out of 8, you guys? Okay, which of the following does Maddie not do? Act, sing, model, or dance? Well, we know she acts. We know she models. Does she sing? I think maybe she doesn't sing because I feel like she dances. I feel like I've seen her dance on TikTok. What do you guys think? Which one does she not do? Dance. You think she doesn't dance or sing? Sing. It has to be sing because I've seen her dance. Maybe, oh no. I think it was model. I think that I went too quickly. I got a 7 out of 8. How did you guys do? I think they said she did model. Pretty sure Maddie models. Maybe it was dance, or I don't know. Or maybe it was a glitch. We've had some glitches. So you know what? If you guys unless we can see Matt, have you ever seen Maddie sing? What did you guys get? You are gorgeous, Asma. Thank you for watching. 7 out of 8 to Belita. 7 out of 8 to Amaya. 7 out of 8 to Belita, 7 to Ava, 7 out of 8. Yeah, she does model. So I guess there was a glitch. So whatever you got for the last one is correct. You got an 8 out of 8, I'm saying. Safa got an 7 out of 8. Devani got a 7 out of 8. Amaya got a 7 out of 8. 8 out of 8 to Fermata. 8 out of 8 to Giselle. Anika got an 8 out of 8, 7 out of 8 to Andrea. Maggie got a 7 out of 8. Sisters Challenge got a 7 out of 8. 8 out of 8 to Mariah. 7 out of 8 to Asma. Vanessa Perez got a 7 out of 8. 7 out of 8 to Jasmine. Guys, what do you think about Nessa saying that Mads lied during her Dixie D'Amelio interview? I'm Gabby Conti, and follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.